Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. After the defeat of the Tyrant Frieza, peace was finally restored to the Saiyan world and the entire universe. Goku reaching this new level of power sent ripples throughout the universe. As the Kais heard of this, after investigating, they were shocked to see that the Monkey King lives. They cannot interfere with mortal affairs, only higher-ups can. And the last thing they want is to be damned for allowing the Monkey King to be set free. They see that he isn't like his usual self. Has he lost his memories? It must be. And he's not as strong as he once was, as the Kais have an idea. They will grant a mortal godlike power to destroy the Monkey King. They look towards Earth, as in the West City, a scientist who is working underground. He's tirelessly working on serums and mutations and biowork to enhance things and in the end, give himself godlike powers. As a child in his village, he saw a goddess appear and grant a blessing, but yet they never gave him one, and he would not let some gods decide that science. He will become one himself with the power of science. But every test so far has failed. Before he has now given up on everything, a light would then appear, as a being with no face would offer their hand, telling him that they can grant what he wishes. He would then not hesitate and then take the gift, and he was swarmed with power. As he looks normal for now, as the faceless being tells him, you now have the power of absorption and mutation. You must grow like cells. He laughs. That's a pretty good nickname. I'll name myself Cell. Why not? As he would then leave the lab with his new power to begin growing stronger. As back to Goku, he was at a village with Roshi before a messenger appeared. As Roshi reads it, he smiled as he was invited by the deity named the Ox King. Now Goku wonders who that is. As Roshi explained years ago, he helped them against serpents, the snakes. And the Ox Kingdoms have been at war for centuries. As Roshi and Goku fly off, Goku using his cloud to help out, Roshi would then explain that the Serpent Kingdom is ruled by the Princess Snake, and she rebelled against her creator Naga, and thus they became evil, destroying the Ox Kingdom, and they have been at war for over 100 years. Goku nods, as he doesn't want anything to happen, but he'll do everything he can to help the Ox people stop this war. They would arrive, and it was a massive kingdom. The people seem happy and content. Goku actually enjoys seeing the old themes of the city. It's very traditional, and there's not really any technology around. But then his stomach grumbles. He was starving. As they find a small noodle shop, Goku would then slurp down 30 bowls of ramen and a few dozen dumplings for a snack, and also a whole pot of tea, of course. As Roshi would watch, asking for some pepper, as the person would just walk right past. As afterwards, Goku was happy for now. Now Roshi wonders, do all, quote, Saiyans have a diet like that? As walking up the long stairs, they would then arrive, as workers will bring them in, saying that the Ox King will be in soon. Roshi tells Goku just to wait, but Goku, knowing his curiosity, he began wandering off, as Roshi was kinda too busy looking at some of the ladies among the workers, as he's still Roshi. Goku was amazed by this building. As he was looking around, he would then look around and see that everything was spotless, and it was amazingly made. He would then reach an open garden that has a large peach tree, and his mouth waters looking at the peaches. That's his favorite food for some weird reason. As then he would have a flashback of him before, maybe, eating these peaches, and they were glowing with divine power. He was feeling some sort of rebellion phase, but then it snapped back to reality. Maybe just one won't hurt, right? They're normal peaches. And he would then jump up on the tree, eating dozens of them. As a voice would make him pretty much jump up in shock, he would then catch the peaches in a comical way. It was a very beautiful woman. As she was looking at him a little strangely, but kindly, Goku would laugh, saying that he's really sorry, he just wanted a snack, and the peaches were here, and she would smile, saying she's never seen someone like him before, and anyone who has a monkey tail. It's strange. Her face would then light up as she sits next to him, as he was hanging upside down by his tail, still eating, saying her name was Princess Chi-Chi, as she was the daughter of the Ox King. And she heard of him before. Is it true that he's actually the Monkey King? If so, it was an honor. Now, Goku then jumped off his tail and sat normally next to her. He doesn't really know. He just goes by the name of Goku. But then he was curious. He asked her about these bad snake people. Chi-Chi frowned, as she told a 20-minute backstory about how their kingdom is ruled by the tyrant Princess Snake. as their city is much more advanced, as her father enjoys the traditional days, hence there's no electronics or cars. They've been at war for over 100 years, and she's seen all of it. Goku stares at her for a moment, as Chi-Chi would then frown and state, "What is it?" Goku then asks, "If that's 100 years and you've seen it all, aren't you a little too young looking or to be old?" And then in Dragon Ball style, she would then hit his head, yelling his ear off that she's a goddess, she doesn't age like that. Goku would then rub his hand afterwards, and he was confused as after a bit more talking, she calmed down, and Goku would then tell her some of his stories. Before Roshi calls out for Goku, they had a good time. He would then get up, saying "see you later," as he would then run off as Chi-Chi already has feelings developing for him, as he was rather handsome. As Goku makes it to the throne, seeing a massive man, being 12 feet tall, at least. Goku would then hold up his hand, saying "yo," and he came out here to help with these snake guys and try and stop his war. As the Ox King laughed, he admired the fighter's words, as he heard of him defeating the Demon King, so he could definitely help. As once telling Goku his plan, for Goku to steal a book that they have containing everything. They have plans, travel routes, trading, and locations. It'll be more than enough for them to maybe turn the tide on the whole war. And Goku would then nod and go on his mission to go leave. Now Goku's not much of a stealthy guy, but he needs to be agile like a monkey, he says. Agile like a monkey? Can he be like a fly or a snake maybe? No, snake people are bad. As Roshi just says, "I'm gonna just head back home for this one," he would then trust Goku to handle his own and be good for his training anyways. As Goku would then ride his cloud across the sky, he would then find the city. He would first walk around, it was much more advanced, but it was in the slums. Places were very packed together, and no room, and people seemed gloomy and not very happy and struggling. As it rained, Goku headed straight for the castle, as he thinks of how he can get in. As he thinks, well, could he become a monkey, or could he do that shape-shifting thing? He hasn't really done it much, but he has to think, what is a good, sneaky little animal or person he can turn into? And then randomly on instinct, his body would turn him into a cicada. And he was confused why he was flying around, but he was really loud, but it's a cicada. As he flying around, he would turn back, all the way heading towards the book. As he easily snuck past the guards being a little cicada, they just think it's a bug buzzing their heads. Goku would then find the book, and while he grabbed it, he yelled out "woohoo," but he messed up because the guards spotted him. He would then fly off on his cloud full speed, easily evading them, and once arriving back at the Ox Kingdom handing the book, he was very thankful, as the Ox King would then thank Goku. As the night came, Goku was met by Chi-Chi, who actually offers some food that she made, and Goku never turns down a good meal, as she's a pretty good cook for being alive for so long, and it does get boring up here, as she made a whole table of food for him, as he eats all the amazing food. As the morning, the Ox King thanked the fighter once again, and it will change the tide of the war. Goku nodded, as he would then head out. Chi-Chi would then ran to him right before he does, asking if he can come back sometime. As Goku says that her food was awesome and he promises, as he summons his cloud and flies off. Back over to Bulma's place, it's been a few weeks since he's seen her, and he was happy to see all of his friends. As Yamcha, Krillin do want to spar with him, as Goku smirked, he never turns down a spar. As the two tag team heading towards Goku, as cutting back to Chi-Chi, she sat outside the castle looking over the city. She was a little down and gloomy that her Goku was gone. As the Ox King put his hand on her shoulder, saying that, oh, he'll be back again. As then, at the entrance, there was a massive explosion. As the people run for their lives, the guards trying to hold back, as the Snake Kingdom has attacked full swing. As Princess Snake appeared, she walked through the castle. Any guard she easily defeated, being way too fast and powerful. As the Ox King held his axes, telling Chi-Chi to get out of here, she would then arrive face to face with the Ox King, stating he's gotten fatter and a lot older and slower looking since 100 years ago, and it's time for him to give up his kingdom or else everyone will die. As the Ox King held his axes, he stated he would rather die. He would then charge in, swinging his axes, as he glowed a yellow by power. Using his strength, she swiftly dodged and blocked the attacks, using her strikes fast, like a striking snake. She has grown a lot stronger since then, but the Ox King hasn't. As the Ox King falls, she formed her blade as Chi-Chi yelled for her to stop, and to take her instead. She smirked and stabbed the Ox King, killing him. Chi-Chi screamed, crying. As she hopped off the dead body, she headed towards her to end this stupid bloodline. As she formed a ki blast, throwing it at her, an explosion. But none of her was there. She was confused, had it been something. She didn't use that much power. Before she turned around, snapping her head, she sees Chi-Chi in Goku's arms. As he sets her down, he sensed this strange power while he was sparring Krillin and Yamcha, and he flew here as fast as he could. He would then set Chi-Chi down, he would follow, walk towards the snake lady with a serious look on his face, stating that she must be the Princess Snake. As he looks over, seeing the dead innocents and the Ox King's body, he growled a little, telling her that he will defeat her. As the ground shook, she laughed, saying that was impossible. Some mortal cannot match her strength. She was then cut off as Goku sent a powerful ki push, sending her back. She caught herself as Goku appeared and gut punched her through the boulders as she got up growling. That actually hurt. How is this possible? He's a mortal. There's no way that he's even stronger than the Ox King. She thinks no matter. He must be blessed, or he must be a deity. It doesn't matter. She would then transform, showing her true goddess form. Being a massive serpent surrounding the castle, she looms over the village. Goku would then summon his cloud, and he would then carry Chi-Chi and all the others to the entrance where the villagers all are, who all survived. She begs him not to go, as she'll die. Goku reassures her that he can handle this. He will avenge her father's name. Goku would then turn to look at the snake as he begins running through the village at full speed, leaping far into the air. Summoning his staff, he would then hit the snake right on the head, making it smack on the floor. Goku would then fall back on his cloud, flying around as she tries to bite him, but he dodges the attacks. Then he would then jump over her head, running down the back of the snake as she tries to swipe him with her arms, but Goku blocks it, and he delivers a powerful punch, sending the whole bite of the snake heading back. The snakehead tries to bite him again, but he grabs it by the mouth, holding it open. But then, it spits venom into his face, making him scream in pain as he couldn't see. She would then use this chance to barrage claw him, as the tail hits him to the solid ground, making a crater. As the snake mouth opens, forming a massive ki blast, she whistles him well in the depths of hell, as she fires hitting a Saiyan with the full blast. Now Goku gets serious, as while he was within the blast, he begins yelling, charging his power. As now, the blast was gone. His eyes were back to normal again, not poisoned, as the golden power saved him. He was now in Super Saiyan once again. As he then summons his staff, he would then throw it right at her, hitting the snake, knocking it over. The staff would then disappear back into his hand, as he would then run forward as she tries attacking him with her tail, but he blocked it with his finger. He would then extend out his hand and charge a Kamehameha wave. As in rage, she would then use her hands and the snake mouth to fire thousands of ki beams, as he dodges each one seamlessly. Imagine the Ultra Instinct scene with Kefla. As he vanishes, appearing right in front of her, he fires the ki blast, making a huge beam of power, as she was flown all the way into space, being completely disintegrated. Goku would then put his hand down, as he uses his cloud, arriving in front of the villagers, who stare in awe. As he glows a golden light like a true god, they bow. As he lands on the ground, his hair fiery flowing around. As the clouds around his body move, he reversed to normal as his stomach grumbled, and he was sure hungry again after that fight, as Chi-Chi hugged him, as she was truly happy that he was alive. Now afterwards, they held a gathering for the fallen Ox King, and Chi-Chi was appointed the role of the Ox Queen. And since the war ended, the Snake Kingdom fell. Most people moved into the kingdom, doubling the size of it, and it was a little bit more advanced, but it did keep the traditional side, as Chi-Chi was never going to really change much of what her father did, but still move it forward. Now Chi-Chi was a great ruler, getting along with all the other kingdoms, as she wished Goku to be her husband and rule with her, but Goku didn't really want to. And Goku didn't even know what it was until she explained it a little bit, but he wasn't all that interested in it for now, as she understood he has his own path, but she says that her arms are always welcomed. As Goku says, oh yeah, sure, maybe he'll think about it, and he would then fly off on his cloud to Mount Paozu. As back to the main cities, people have been reporting missing, and in villages as well. Now, Kami got notified once his captive Oolong went missing, and he was found in a hollowed husk of remains, like he was drained of all of his life. As this worried Kami, as the scientist named himself Cell, again, his arms swelled, being 4 times the size with claws as he slashed through the bandits on his way. He loved the power, but he needed much, much more. He wants that delicious divine power. That's what he needs to evolve. As he looks at the lookout, he can sense divine power up there, as the closest there was on top. He would then jump all the way to the top, as Krillin and Yamcha were actually doing their training. Now Roshi was next to Kami watching them train, as Roshi brought them up there a couple weeks ago, as they've been training very intensely. And with Kami's help, they even went to another dimension to train for over a year, to where within a year inside of that realm, it is only a day on the outside, so they have grown much stronger. And with Kami giving them his blessings, they have only grown much stronger as well, tapping into their true godhoods. As Kami gave them their blessings, they have grown into unlocking powers that he never thought was possible. Kami was surprised that mortals can do this, as once when Cell arrived, liking this place, Kami slammed his staff, making a little crack, telling how dare this mortal step foot on these grounds. How did he get here? As the man laughed, stating who he is and why he's here to steal their power. Krillin and Yamcha nod, as Krillin goes forward, smirking to bring it on. As Cell charges in, his arm growing, Krillin dodges and he sweeps his leg. As he would stand on his hand, he would then do a spin kick, hitting Cell right in the face, sending him right off the ledge, falling down to the open forest. As Yamcha, Roshi, and Krillin jumped down, Kami would follow. They would then stand back and watch Krillin do what he needs to do. He would then heal his wounds, as Cell was smirking. This human was different. He was strong, very strong. He needs to string them along so he can continue absorbing some of their power. He was only evolving more and more. As he charged the purple aura, as her lightning sparks off him, he laughs. Krillin got serious. As he got stronger, the man looks different. He seems more mutated than before. What has happened to him? He's only changing. This man has turned into black armor-like tissue has grown over his arm. It's making it bigger with spikes and claws on it. It's spread over his stomach and chest. As he flies in, elbowing Krillin, Krillin would then catch himself spinning, landing back on his feet. He would then wipe his nose. Krillin knows that he cannot hold back, and this is a good chance to show his power. Krillin would then show his new power. He begins charging his white aura, as his eyes have a red glowing line around them. A symbol appears on his forehead, as he opens with red eyes. Roshi smiles proudly alongside Kami. Yamcha smirks, as Yamcha then removes his cloak he had, and he said this is going to be fun, as he looks at Krillin saying let's show this new power and kick some ass. As Yamcha charges his new power, as fur covers his body as a wolf tail forms with the ears and the claws, as a white aura with electricity forms. He rips off the other half of his top G, and both of the fighters is at their true divine strength, showing off their new form. As Cell revels in this, he was amazed with how much the gods have blessed them with some strong fighters. Krillin smirks, stating, "It's more than a blessing, buddy." As Krillin and Yamcha stated, having a flashback, ever since sparring with Goku they easily lost. They realize that they need to be more than martial artists. Stay true to our roots, but follow our power within ourselves as humans. And it shows. Yamcha following the path of the wolf god, and Krillin following the god Buddha. As Krillin held his arm in front of himself, he would then stop, as Yamcha said, "Nuh-uh, I'm going next." He had the first round. Krillin said, "Go right on ahead." Yamcha then ran on all fours with blinding speed, vanishing right in front of Cell. He yelled out Wolf Fang Fist as he did a combo of punches and slashes. Cell was struggling to keep up. As Cell jumped back, kicking Yamcha in the face, he wasn't even affected by the attack, telling a guy to hurry up. He was bored. As Krillin was watching, Yamcha has some new moves he's dying to use, as he formed a Kamehameha. He would then hit Cell full force, making a huge explosion. Cell would be badly wounded, missing half of his body, but he would then regenerate. But then his body mutates again, absorbing some of the power that he got. His eyes red glowing with power as he mutates further, growing in power, forming armor and more arms on his body, more bug-like, tasting more of this divine power. As Yamcha's eyes widen a little bit, saying, "Oh, that ain't good." Cell would then appear, punching Yamcha into the air, as the two would then trade blows, clashing back and forth. Yamcha uses the Neo Wolf Fang Fist, as Cell was able to block most of the attacks. As they were seemingly equal in power, Yamcha jumps back to the ground, as Krillin appears next to Cell, out of nowhere, kicking his face as he dashes below and uppercuts Cell's stomach, making him yell in pain. Krillin would then dash and jump again, and right above, he would then charge his hands and use his ki to push to slam Cell all the way deep into the ground. Krillin would then land gently, as Yamcha says that's a bit of a show-off move. Why did he butt in? And Yamcha said, no fair, he didn't even go full strength yet, he had him. Krillin deadpan looking at him and says that you need not be so confident, that we need to work together. This mutation ability he has is bad. If they keep on doing it like this, he's soon going to surpass him, and then that's going to be a problem. They need to team up. They can beat him. As he was distracted, as Cell would then jump out breathing hard, a little bit of growling, as that won't happen again. As his appearance itself doesn't change, but he does grow a little bit more bulkier and a bit larger, being around 8 foot tall now. He charges in like a tank, hitting Krillin and Yamcha, who tag team trading blows back and forth. He uses one of his arms to swat them away, as he was so happy. He's finally got what he wanted. He's a god. As then, Krillin has an idea. He tells Yamcha to use that move. Yamcha smirks, he's been wanting to do this, and he tells Krillin to charge up your move too. Yamcha would then charge the Spirit Ball, throwing it right at Cell. Cell would then dodge the attack as it would follow him, moving him around. It was quite irritating. But then, Krillin would then charge up a Kienzan, or Destructo Disc, throwing it right behind him as it would cut him vertically in half. And then, the Spirit Ball would then hit the pieces, causing a massive explosion. Then they would do a high five, giving a fist bump as well, thinking that they did it, but then they realized that there was a piece of him, and it would then regenerate, as now he was even stronger. And this is not good, as now he's even stronger than before, and they should have destroyed it when they had the chance, but it was too late. As while this was happening, Goku would land nearby, and he was going to actually join in, but Kami and Roshi tell him wait, as they explained that Krillin and Yamcha needs to handle this on their own, which did let Goku down. He really badly wanted to fight this guy, he seems so strong, but Roshi tells Goku to stay back. Unless Krillin and Yamcha lose or go unconscious, he will not interfere. They need to win this alone. As then, Cell would then appear right in front of Krillin and Yamcha, overpowering them with a combo of attack, blasting both of them as they would land on top of each other. They would then get up groaning in pain as Yamcha growled out, "We're getting our asses kicked out there, what do we do?" As Krillin got up, as then now Cell was beginning to charge up a massive attack. This attack was so massive it looked like a small planet in his hands. As Krillin thinks that any attack that they throw at him won't work, unless they can use their attack to bounce back his own attack, as he can't absorb energy he already is using, and that is his own, as it could maybe destroy him. Yamcha has zero clue what that means. He would deadpan him. Krillin would then explain and just kind of shrug that he honestly just kind of made it up, but either way, they got to put full power into this. It might overwhelm him. As they would then both charge their auras, Yamcha and Krillin saying ready, as they both charge a Kamehameha. They would then charge it together, and then Cell fires the mountain-sized ball of red energy right at them. They would then fire their beam as it would clash. They struggle as it begins to overpower them. As Krillin says they can do this, Yamcha nodded, yelling, "Now!" As they yell, using their full strength, the beam doubled in size as it blows the attack back. Cell was hit by it as he tries to absorb it, but it was too much energy. As a massive explosion, Cell was completely destroyed. Krillin and Yamcha fell. They were completely exhausted, using up all their energy. Goku ran to them saying how awesome that was, and how their forms are super cool too. He wants to spar with them as soon as they're healed. But then Roshi would then hit his head, telling him to chill out. They just defeated a powerful enemy. But Kami was more worried about something else, as Kami's eyes widen as he wonders. This is confusing, because the ground was shaking. That's not good. A light would then appear as a voice stated to him that he looks like a horror asking for more time. As then they look up, seeing Cell, but he wasn't talking to them. He was talking to somebody else. It was a light. It was a faceless being. Kami's eyes widen as he knows exactly who that is. Are they blessing him or are they doing something? Kami then knows it's the Kais for sure, as this could be really bad. But then they see the hand move, as then Cell was then turned to ash. As Kami was so confused, Kami needs answers. And if it's the Kais meddling in their affairs, that means that they do know that Goku is Sun Wukong, and that is bad, as this must be the Kais. As Kami ponders in his head, were they given this mortal power to try and kill Goku, as he is the Monkey King? Or could it be maybe that they tried blessing him and he turned on them? Potentially. Everyone is in danger though if that is the case, but Kami will try and fix this peacefully. He would then bring Goku to his lookout, and they would travel to the heavens, as Goku would look around amazed, as it was cool here. Souls were passing through, and they see King Yema, who does help the souls pass into heaven or banished to hell for breaking the sins. As Yema grants access, Kami was allowed to visit the four Kais and the Supreme Kai. Now, Kami would then bow, Goku would wave his hand as usual, saying yo, as Kami was shocked, telling Goku to bow. Goku was his normal, happy self. Why they sent some weird guy named Cell after him, he doesn't know why. And he would then ask the Kais that. The Kai's eyes twitch, as the Supreme Kai cleared his throat, although really annoyed about how foolish he's acting, stating that because you're a danger to all of you, and you somehow survived your damnation by the Grand Zeno. And they don't know how, but they do not want him to rebel again and destroy all that they have done. As Goku was confused, he asked what did they mean, as he has zero memory of that, and they were surprised to hear this. He doesn't remember any of it? Maybe Grand Zeno removed his memories, as this could keep work in their favor. They maybe could use him and keep an eye on him. They state that he was a good god, very nice, and loyal to those around him. Yes, absolutely. They struggled to say nice things of him, as they hated him. They asked for him to stay in the other world and to do a few jobs for them, which Goku asked what it is, as they state that it's a few cleaning jobs that might keep him distracted. The Supreme Kai told the other Kais to not make him clean anywhere near something important, like the Peace Tree of Immortality, which, original, he ate it all, which gave Sun Wukong immortality, because it felt like Goku would then instantly decline. Stating that he's not no cleaner or anything, he would want to stay on Earth and he doesn't want to work any jobs or anything, but he will help those who need it. This did anger the Supreme Kai, but he calmed himself as he has one idea. He tells the Monkey King that they can have a champion of heaven, as if you can defeat this champion that they have, you will be allowed to leave, and we will not interfere anymore with you. Goku would then agree, as this is exciting. Fighting someone super strong, as it was known as the Heavenly Tournaments. All the strongest beings in heaven will combat for the blessings and a special gift to be brought back to life and granted life once again. As Goku watched a few of the battles go on, he was put to the semifinals immediately. Granted for the Kai's lovely request, as they know that most of the other fighters would not be able to beat Goku. But the last two fighters may have a small chance. Their champion definitely can. As once when Goku would then go to the semifinals, he was excited, as he was so excited to battle the champion and earn the right. As Goku gets into his stance, he would then see the person step out with heavy steps. It was the Ox King, surprising Goku, as the Ox King was happy to see Goku again. But he wishes him luck. As the bell rang, they clash, cracking the arena, as the Ox King was moving much faster than his originally was, and he's a lot stronger too. As the Ox King laughs, stating that within the heavens, their limitations are gone, such as sleep, energy, and old age. He can fight like he used to as a young man, a couple hundred years ago, maybe about 1,000 or two. He formed 2 battle axes using his yellow aura. Goku was amazed with how strong he was, but he remembers that this is the Ox King after all. Goku then charges white aura as they clash. Goku would then kick the axes away as they clench hands, as Goku yelled, pushing hard, as the Ox King was very strong. As Goku would then let go, using his clouds, he picked up the Ox King. And in a split moment, he uses all of his ki energy to knock the Ox King out of the ring. The Ox King barely caught himself, just in time. But then Goku delivered a final kick to his gut, cracking his armor. He still caught himself with his hand, but his boot hit the floor, and he lost. As he got up, he would then shake Goku's hand, as the final round would commence in 1 hour. Goku then sit next to him, as the Ox King would then begin asking about his daughter, as Goku would tell him about her, and the Ox King was very proud to hear this, and Goku apologizes for not being there soon enough for him, and the Ox King says, no, I died with honor, as that's the way that the Ox King and the Ox King soldiers work. We fight for honor, and we find honor in death. I'm perfectly fine with staying dead. My daughter can rule the kingdom with no problem, not without me. She doesn't need me. She's more than ready. And he's very proud, and he thanks Goku for saving her and for saving his kingdom. He truly is. And he says that you definitely earned your title. But he warns Goku that the champion is not who he thinks it is, and he is absurdly strong. He is a god. As now, this is when Goku would then make it to the stage. All the Kais would then appear, even the Supreme Kai watching. He then sees another Saiyan. He was really small and skinny though. Goku then waved at him, yo, as the Saiyan told him that he does wish him the best of luck. He hasn't fought another Saiyan in hundreds of years. As the bell rang, Goku charges in. As the two clash, trading blows back and forth, he jumped away, as Goku admits this guy was pretty good. As this man smiled, it was time to get serious. He tells Goku that he remembers him, this lesser version of him. Nearly 1,000 years ago, the Saiyans was in chaos, as he was a rebel Saiyan who stood against the evil. The Monkey King arrived near my final breaths, and granted me divine blessings. And I will show you this blessing, and I will give it back to you, in a way. He would begin powering up, yelling. He transformed, not being small and scrawny anymore. He grew a foot to 2 in height, and way more muscle mass. His red hair flows like fire, his aura flaring around him. He's become a god. Goku was amazed, as he never knew a form like this was possible. Can he get one like that? As he got into a stance, he charged in, delivering a powerful punch, but the man caught it easily, delivering a powerful punch back to Goku, sending him down to the ground. As Goku would then not have enough time, he barely dodged these T-blasts. As he got up as the crowd was cheering on, Goku needs to ask, "Who are you?" The Saiyan would then smirk, saying that his name was Yamoshi. Goku smirked, saying, "Alright Yamoshi, let's turn it up a notch, huh?" He would then power up into Super Saiyan, his golden hair flowing, as Yamoshi's never seen that power before from him. But it was truly incredible strength, but he wonders why is Wukong holding back? He's holding back so much of his strength. This is not his true form. Goku would then smirk and state he's always growing and growing and growing. He's only getting stronger the more he fights, and he thanks Yamoshi that through him he can learn more of his inner power. As he's been wanting to practice this new power that he learned within himself, he begins searching the inner deepings of his power, as he knows that he needs to evolve. He begins powering up. The power is shaking the heavens. As he grows fur, turning a red color, and armor forms around his body. He transforms, branding new armor, his black hair flowing with a yellow and sparkling aura. He's one step closer to his original state, accepting his primal Saiyan side. As Yamoshi charged in, his attack was caught easily, as he would gut punched him. Goku wishes to test his power further. As he flies in on his cloud, the two clash back and forth, as Goku would then elbow his face, kicking his side. Goku would then spin around and uppercut him in the air. As he would then run right below him, leaping it up right above his head, he would then sledgehammering Yamoshi down to the ground. As Yamoshi jumps up, they clash again, as it was almost like people couldn't even see what was happening. They were fighting so fast. The blows were shaking the heavens. Yamoshi says, "Let's put it all on the line here then." One final attack. Yamoshi then charged the final attack, as Goku charged up a new move, times 10 Kamehameha. As it turned red, he fired it as they clash. Goku, using his strength, overpowered Yamoshi, knocking him out of the ring. Goku would then help Yamoshi up, as Goku was the winner, as the Kais have no choice but to growl and swallow their pride and give the Monkey King his reward. Goku would then thank Yamoshi a lot for this battle, and if he could ever come back to heaven, he will for sure fight him again. And he tells Yamoshi that he doesn't really remember anything about his past. He doesn't know, but judging from him, it seems like the rebel that he did was a good thing, because the Saiyans are not as evil anymore. He did help them. They were forced to do labor under this guy named Frieza. Yamoshi growled as he wished he was there. He granted him this blessing and he lost it. He lost himself, and he failed. He was able to beat the main culprit, this guy that by the name of Cumber. He was incredibly strong, and he was all the evil god's power into one, but he was able to beat him, but he died in the process, killing him using his own god power. Goku would then put his hand on his shoulder saying, "Listen, you did a good thing, as if it wasn't for you, most likely the Saiyans were not going to be there, and I wouldn't have been able to learn anything about myself. So thank you, honestly. And when I start to learn more about myself and maybe unlock more power, I'll definitely come back for you. I promise." Yamoshi would then smile and state, "I'll be waiting for you, then we'll have our rematch." As then now, since Goku was granted his reward to bring somebody back to life, Goku would choose the Ox King to be given life again. As Kami brings both of them back home to planet Earth, Goku was allowed to leave by the Kais. As the Kais were very salty about it, they were not very happy that he just won, but they will keep a very close eye. They are a person of their word. He brings the Ox King to Chi-Chi's palace, as she would then cry, seeing her father once again, hugging him. She then hugged Goku, thanking him for bringing her father back. She offered a large feast for him, which Goku would never turn that one down. He feasted to his heart content, as later on he was with Krillin and Yamcha and Kami, and he asked Kami, was the Kai's the strongest beings out there? To which Kami would then state that that's not even close, which that only excites Goku for his next adventure, as far off in a realm, a being laid there asleep, as he takes a very, very long slumbers himself. Soon he would awaken, as his attendant was an angel, has urgent news, which the god of destruction is known as Beerus' destroyer. During his meals, he asked what it was. Whis would be sweating a little bit as he states that Sun Wukong lives, making Beerus spit his drink everywhere, coughing, yelling that's impossible. He was stopped by Beerus and all the other gods all those years ago. The Grand Zeno sealed him away. Beerus then shudders. Yeah, like we stopped them. He remembers how even though all 18 angels and gods of destruction teamed up, that damn Monkey King easily slaughtered them all with ease, even sparing their lives because he could. He even decided to heal them and fight him again just because he wanted to, as he was that strong, as he was mocking them with his power. Only the Grand Priest and Grand Zeno could barely stop him, but they couldn't even kill the bastard. He thought he was sealed away forever. We shook his head. No, he was somehow freed, but he lost all of his memories, and he's not even at his full strength at all. Beerus then smirks. This is a perfect chance to try and fight him and end it all. It will also make the universe look a lot better, and for the Grand Zeno, and he can really rub it in his twin brother's face about it. He demands Whis to make a course for Earth at once, which Whis nods, yes, my lord. And that is it for this part, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you all later.